just going to give you a rundown of this week and what's happened. Not feeling too great today, if I'm quite honest. I've had a bit of a frustrating weekend. I've tried to record this video now, it will be the 4th time, and it's just not going my way. So I'm really hoping that this is the last time I have to record this, because I'm a little bit flustered over here, guys, a little bit flustered. Hey ho, right, deep breaths. Today is the 30th of April. You will be getting this next weekend, so this weekend. Yeah, so the Monday just gone. Sorry, let's start from the weekend. So the weekend last weekend, I had a great weekend. I had a really good weekend. We went out for dinner. It was really nice. We went to Beefeater. And yeah, and I just wanted a bit of normality, guys. I just wanted something normal to make me feel a little bit more normal. So I decided, right, we're going out for date night. So Sunday last weekend, went to Beefeater. I had a steak, medium well, guys. No, medium well? What the fuck am I talking about? Medium rare, more on the rare side, right? Boom. I had a steak and that was wonderful. And the only problem I had was that I had to drink out of a cup. And guys, I think you saw from the last video how well that goes. I ended up with Coke all down me. Yeah. And I dribbled everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like 33, guys. I'm 33 and I'm dribbling. What's fucking going on, right? It pissed me off. Anyway, it was a laugh and we had a nice time and we got talking about the house and what we're doing with the house and how we're going to, like, you know, just basically reorganise it and make sure that we can have a little bit more of a clutter-free zone. So that was really nice. Me and the other half had a good chat about that, and then on Monday I had to go into work. So I work from home sometimes and I also go into the office, and on Monday I did go into the office. Now I had some training that I needed to do on Monday, and I was actually really anxious for this. Now, when I normally have a training session, I get super excited about it because I love learning new things. I get such a kick from learning a new skill or learning something about the company, or, you know, just anything that I can learn. I'm just straight there, well excited, and I'm totally present. Now, on Monday, it was a little bit different. I started off the day and it was great. I managed to get some of my reports done, or some of the report that I needed to do done, and then I needed to go into this training. So I went into the training. It was about 4 hours, I think it was, and it was a really good training session. Now the only problem I had here was that I was super fucking nervous to go into a training session with a group of people that I knew. And even the trainer, I knew who the trainer was. We had actually been working together to get the training session sorted. So I was like raring to go, but I was also extremely nervous about it. Now, the only reason why I was nervous was because of my face, because it's not as responsive as what it has been. So I was anxious and I was like, oh God, people are going to ask questions and things like this. But luckily, I'd spoken to quite a few people about it, and a lot of people, even my manager and my manager's manager, both said to me that it's not noticeable. My other half has said it to me, you know, and it's like, if you don't know me or if you haven't been around me for too long, you might not actually notice it anyway. So I was like, okay, just keep thinking about that. And like I say, we went through the training sessions and I was absolutely fine. It really wasn't, you know, I didn't need to be anxious, but, you know, these things happen and that's just the way that it goes sometimes. So that's how I was on Monday. When I got home from work on Monday, I mean, I planned out the whole day and I you know, I'd done everything I could in that moment whilst I was at work. But my eye, guys, my eye was just doing my head in. Like, I was constantly doing this and constantly trying to refocus my eye because it was just in and out. So when I got home, obviously throughout all of that, I mean, it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster for me. I got home and I just KO'd on the sofa again because I was exhausted. Guys, it's amazing how just having a limp face how it actually exhausts you and makes you feel so tired because you're compensating for it. And you're, having to blink a lot more. You're having to focus a lot more. You're having to try a lot more to be able to take in information and to be able to process what's happening. Now, I'm a very visual person, and when you've got your eye going like this, in and out, and it's messing with you, visual isn't necessarily the best thing because I can't see properly. So I did struggle, and that's why I KO'd on the sofa when I got home. So Tuesday came about, and again, I was just taking every second as it came because I didn't want to bombard myself and make myself feel like I was snowed under. So I was taking every second as it came. I had a list of to-dos that I had to do for that day, and I was just going through them and ticking them off. I'd spoken to my manager, and my manager has been an absolute diamond about all of this. And, he's just, you take your time, you do what you need to do. If you need anything, just let me know. So on Tuesday, he said to me that we needed to do my end of year one-to-one. So we got together for that. That was all great, and I had positive feedback and everything was fantastic. And that made me feel really, really good in myself. I felt brilliant. Now, the only problem with that was, whilst I was in that one-to-one, my eye was just on an all-time bad, and it was just focus, and it just wouldn't properly focus. I had to keep rubbing my eye, I had to keep blinking. I was even squinting a few times because I couldn't properly see. So we did have a little discussion about it, and I said to him, I just have to take it as it comes because I don't know how it's gonna ebb and flow, if it's gonna be seriously bad or if it's gonna be okay, or if I'm trying too hard to focus on something, if it's gonna make it worse. And he was just like, look, just take it as it comes, and just if you need to go home, go home. So within that meeting, I did say to him, I do feel like I'm getting the headache. So I was like, okay, right, what do I do in this situation? Do I stick it out? Because that's me. I stick it out and do as much as I possibly can before, it gets too bad. But I tend to not realise that it's getting too bad, and then it will get too bad, and then I won't be able to drive home. So he said to me, no, go home. The meeting later, you can sign on from home, so don't worry about it. Just get yourself home, and we'll talk again when you're feeling better. So I was like, okay, great. That's that makes me feel a lot better. So anyway, I come home. We had another meeting in the afternoon. Luckily, I didn't have to have much of an input with that, so it was just taking notes, which was it was quite nice actually, because I got to have a bit of an insight into how things work within our company. So it was nice, a nice meeting, but I was still struggling with my eye. So after that, I think we just chilled out at home, and it was just another evening. So I was just, chilling on the sofa and just trying to manage how I was feeling. So I was just trying to stay calm and trying to relax and bring my anxiety down, because through all of this, it's been on a high since I went to A&E, or even before that, So I'm sort of managing it day by day, and as it comes, and as it ebbs and flows, and really just to see how I feel. So Wednesday came around, and luckily I was working from home anyways, and I had a good day. I managed to do a lot of research around the things that I needed to research. I managed to do a lot of different odd jobs that I needed to do, and Wednesday was pretty much okay. My face was still numb, and I still couldn't feel my tongue, and I was still dribbling, and all sorts. So that was Wednesday. Now this little one here, we took her to the vets a little while ago for pet health check, and it was just like a general health check. So they just check her teeth and her nails and her health, like her heart and everything like that. So she was fine, but they said that she would need to come in for a dental clean. So I was, that was fine. We were going to do that. So I had already booked off this Thursday, so the 27th. I'd booked it off after that appointment, which was a couple of weeks ago, to make sure that I knew that somebody was going to be around for her, and the other half booked it off as well, so we were both going to be on hand for the pooch. So on Wednesday when I finished work, because she's very nervous when it comes to the vets, and that's all since lockdown really, since going in there and seeing everybody with their masks on, and then she had to be taken into the room without me or her daddy. So she was terrified, absolutely terrified, and you know, understandably I would be the same. So we spoke to them before and they said to us, if you want to, you can just bring her in around 5 o'clock in the afternoon and we can have what we call happy hour. So they just give her loads of love and loads of fuss and get her to like walk around the veterinary practice and just get to know the area and get to know the people that are there as well. Guys, that went amazing. It went so well. She was like really happy to see everyone. She took treats from them all, and she got to go in and have a look in the kennels, where she has been in there before but not since COVID, so she got to have a little sniff in there. And she was a little bit scared. She did have a tail between her legs, better, but she was okay, and she done really, really well. And obviously after we left, she was like ecstatic that she was out of that place. Anyway, so Thursday came round. Her appointment was at 8:40 in the morning, so we got up early and we took her out for a walk around the village where her vet's is, and we then took her in. Now when we spoke to the vets, they said to us, okay, well, she's probably going to need to have some sedation before she goes in or before we leave, just to keep her calm and just keep her mellow so that she doesn't get too overworked. It's just to make sure that she's okay really and not anxious. So whilst we were there, they gave her a shot, and we sat in the room probably for about 10 or 15 minutes, just whilst the sedation worked. So we sat there for a little while, and it started to kick in and she started to become really cozy and cuddly and just wanted to sit with us. So we did that. And then she was taken in. So my other half led her into the kennel area. They put her blanket down so that it smelled like home. And she went into the kennel, and then yeah, we just had to wait out basically and find out what was going on. Now she has a little lump on her paw, bless her heart, and so we spoke to the vet and they said that we'll do a sighting, so they basically take some cells out of the lump just to see what's in there. And the vet said that there wasn't really any way for them to know what it was. So they decided then that they would need to take a biopsy. So we opted to have the biopsy, and she has needed to wear a cone, bless her. Oh my God, it's just awful. I hate seeing her wear these cones, because when she wears the cone, it like she just walks into everything and it completely throws out her spatial awareness. I mean, she's a staffy. She has no spatial awareness anyway, but when she's got this cone on, it's even worse. So she's bashing into the walls, she's bashing into the door, she's bashing into the fences, like just anything and everything she's finding to hit into. So she's had a right ordeal. But anyway, we got her home, and she was quite docile. When we first picked her up, she really wasn't. She was really, really happy to see us, and she was really excited about coming home. So that was good. But when she got home, she was very like, just feeling really sorry for herself. And I was like, I feel the same, girl. I'm right there with you. Because my face still wasn't like feeling anything, and I was just like, oh my God, we're both going through it, you know. So at least I felt like, you know, I had my girl with me and we're both going through it. So we're together. We're in this together, right? Yeah, so Thursday night, we just had a nice chilled evening again, just looking after the puppy and just making sure that she was okay. And we had to like feed her little bits and make sure that she wasn't going to be sick. And she was really annoyed at us. She really was. In fact, I might even just plug in a video of her whilst she had the cone on, and she was basically looking at us to give her more food, and it was like, sorry, we can't, because if we do, you might be sick. So it was, oh, bless her. I know. In the mood. Yeah, so my face was still the same. She was in a worse state, bless her, since the vets. And Friday came along, and again I was working from home. So it was just me and the puppy. My other half, he wasn't working, but he was, because he was doing stuff on his car and things. So I was at home looking after the dog. And yeah, Friday was like a bit of a strange day, because it was like I didn't really notice that my face was numb. It didn't feel like it had done the previous days. So I was like, okay, this is good. This is a good sign. And my lip, sort of the feeling in my lip was coming back, and I could feel my tongue again. And I was like, okay, this is a good sign. This is a good sign. Now, by lunchtime, I felt numb again. And my eye was doing the twitchy thing again, and it was, not working properly. So I was like, okay, well, it's obvious that it gets now, anyway, it's now getting worse when I'm tired, and it's getting better when I'm not so tired. So that shows to me that it's ebbing and flowing, and that hopefully those ebbs and flows are going to be bigger and bigger and more wide apart, so that it's not going to be as prominent, or at least it's on its way out. It's starting to, disappear. So I've literally every day I've been looking in the mirror every time I do my makeup, and I'm like smiling, and I'm raising my eyebrows to see how level they are, just to make sure that, it is coming back to me. And even like when I'm doing my makeup, so the last couple of weeks I've actually refrained from doing my makeup, because it's just such a ordeal when you can't feel your eye. So I'm trying to do my mascara. When you have mascara and you're doing it and you're trying to get right to the roots, you need to be able to feel to be able to get it on properly. So when I'm doing this eye, I genuinely couldn't feel it, and it was just like, what's the point? Because I'm just going to have two odd eyes anyway, so I'll just leave it out. So I just stopped doing my makeup altogether, and on Friday I could actually feel my eye. And I actually celebrated a little bit, because I was like, oh my God, yes, I can actually put mascara on and it's going to look okay. So I did that, and I felt really good about that. So the anxiety started to lift a little bit, and I was starting to feel a little bit more myself, which was nice. Then yesterday came, so Saturday, and I was trying to record this video. Now, I'm very temperamental at the moment anyway, just purely because of everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks. And I started to record this, and then I literally got through the whole fucking thing. I've finished everything. I've literally done this and told this story about 4 times. I've told you 4 times I've told this story, and 3 of those times it literally recorded the first 2 minutes, and then it stopped recording, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So the first time it happened, I was like, all right, okay, well that's fine, it's okay, it's probably because I leant on the button or something, I just thought it was something as innocent as that. So I recorded again, I got through the video again, and then I looked at the camera and realised it hadn't been recording at all. So it literally only had about 30 seconds of that video recorded. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Ugh. It was just so annoying, right? So I've then gone and done it again. And this time I just thought, okay, well, I'm just going to say a few words and then just go and have a look and see if it's recording. And again, no, it wasn't recording. So I was like, okay, fine. This is just really annoying. And with that came the frustration, and with that came the anxiety again. So I basically just kind of gave up with it yesterday, and I was like, I'm not even going to touch it. My last video that went out, I edited that for probably about 2 hours, where normally I spend probably about 4 or 5 hours on my edits to make sure that everything makes sense. Now, my last video wasn't my best work. I can promise you now, it was not my best work, because I just needed to get it out. And I was so frustrated yesterday that I was just like, yeah, done is done. I can't be doing this anymore, because I'm just going to sit on it longer. And the more I sit on it, the less it makes sense. So I was just like, look, it makes sense now. I mean, there's little dribs and drabs in it that is just crap. But I was like, no, I just need to get it out. So I did. I just put it all together, bossed it up and just posted it out. Like I say, guys, not my best work, and I apologise for that. But as you can tell, I've been having a right week of it, or 2 weeks of it, so I'm just at the end of my tether, really. So this time round, I have now checked out my phone and I've looked at the storage and realised that I didn't have enough storage on my phone. So I have now deleted a load of things, I've moved a lot of things, and now I'm hoping this is going to record all the way through. And if it doesn't, guys, I'm not doing it again. I tell you, I'm not doing it again. But yeah, so that was just yesterday when I was like flustered and frustrated, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to leave it as this and just, you know, just put a lid on it for today. We can take the lid off again tomorrow. So today is tomorrow, and I've had a shit day. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised my makeup's still on because I was in fits of tears earlier. I just didn't have the brain capacity for anything. Like, I don't know if you get this, right, but where you need to do a task. So let's use the example that I have today. My other half said to me, so I said to you about the dinner that we had last weekend, and we were talking about how we were going to reorganise our house and make it a little bit more of a livable space. So today, the goal was that we would take measurements of the room. We would take measurements downstairs and upstairs and basically just pull it all together so that we know what space we've got to work with so that we can get new furniture. We come upstairs. I got the tape measure to measure this wall here. And I tried to measure it and I did it, but it wasn't making sense to me. And guys, measuring something's really easy. It's really easy. And I just couldn't comprehend what I was doing. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. And he's saying to me, so what measurement is that? And I said, well, I think it's 210. And I was like, but I don't know. Like, and he was saying to me, you need to write this down. And he wrote down in millimetres and I was writing down in centimetres. And for the life of me, guys, I couldn't understand why 209 wasn't 290 and not 209. I was just like, what am I doing? It's 209. That's what you need to write for centimetres. 209 is 209, not 290 being 290. I couldn't comprehend it. I didn't understand what the fuck I was doing wrong. And it was something as simple as that. And my brain was just like, yeah, no, you can't do this. And it just full on shut down, and that was it. I had a crying fit on the bed for about 20 minutes just to get it out my system, because I was so frustrated and so like anxious and uptight that I just didn't want this to seep into anything else for the rest of the day. So I thought, right, I'm best to just sit up here, cry it out, get it out my system, and then, you know, we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Well, we did that. We took the dog out for a walk. And even after the walk, guys, now normally a good long walk makes me feel so much better. But this time it really didn't. And I was like, oh, it's just going to be one of these days. Guys, it's just going to be one of these days where nothing is going to make anything better. Like, not even hot chocolate in my positivity mug, right? Nothing is going to make this better. I'm just going to have to, you know, just roll with it and see what happens. Now, I literally wasn't even going to do this today. I wasn't going to record this, but my other half's gone out and I thought, you know, this is a prime opportunity to, you know, sit with you guys. So this is what I'm doing now. And do you know what? I have to say, like I said in my last video, this is making me feel better. It does. It's my self-care. I'm able to talk to you guys about things that are going on, and it kind of helps me put things into perspective, and it really helps me to, you know, just go, okay, you've had a frustrating day today. You can put that behind you, and now you can just tell everybody about it so that they don't feel like they're alone in this. And, you know, we can just make the day what it is, you know. I really hate a wasted day. And I was sort of thinking today was going to be a wasted day, but I'm hoping this is recorded and it's not a wasted day. We'll see. But yeah, so like I say, I mean, it's been frustrating as hell, but do you know what? Since Friday and the ebbing and flowing, like I said, the ebbs and flows have become a lot more spaced out and a lot bigger. So I can feel. So I can feel my tongue, I can feel my face, I can feel my eye. It's still doing the focus thing, but it's not quite as bad as what it was. And I can raise my eyebrows too. So I know it's coming back to me. And I'm like, yay, yay, it's coming back. So I'm hoping that it's not going to go downwards from here. I really hope not. But we're just going to remain positive, and we're just going to, you know, focus on every second as it happens, and we will see, you know, if it disappears within the next couple of days. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's one of those things. I've just got to be gentle with myself and just not put too much pressure on things. Because I'm very good at that. Very good at putting pressure on myself and making things 10 times worse. Guys, did you hear that? That's such bad English. Make things worse for myself. It's not a nice thing to do, and I am a veteran at that. I'm very fucking good at that, at making things worse for myself. So I'm standing here today saying to you that, okay, I've had a shit couple of days. Okay, I've had a shit couple of weeks, but not every second is bad, and I can take the good and the positives from each day as they happen. So I am thanking my lucky stars that I have an amazing man who looks after me no end. He is so supportive and so, like, just understanding. He, you know, he doesn't understand any of this, but he tries. He's just amazing. He really is. He does look after me, and he's looked after both of us, to be fair, hasn't he? He has. Has Daddy looked after us? Yes. Yes, he has. Kiss him. Thank you. So, yeah, so me and my puppy have both had ordeals this week, and we are in it together. Oh, don't fall off the bed. Come this way. There you go. So, yeah, that's basically my week. Yeah, it's been a bit of shit, guys, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing, and I've still got a smile on my face. And yeah, just taking every second as it comes. But guys, if that is all you can do in the moment, if that is all you can do is take every second as it happens, just do it. Because it doesn't matter. Everything else that's going on, it doesn't matter right now. You just need to focus on yourself, and you just need to get yourself to the next second and just keep going and moving forward as best you can, you know? Don't put pressure on yourself. Like, I'm the first person to put pressure on myself. But today, guys, I've just been like, no. I give up with the pressure. I'm not putting pressure on myself today. Today, I'm just going to ride it out. I'm going to deep breaths. And yes, okay, a few times I've said I just want to die. And that's not a very nice thing to say. But in the moment, that's how it feels. It's that feeling of I've had enough. I've just had enough. And it's horrible. It's a really horrible feeling, but I'm hoping that this video will help you to see that it doesn't have to be that way. You can think like that for a moment, but once you've got over that, just go, okay, right, no, what can I do to make myself feel better? Now today I've painted my nails. They look crap, but I've painted my nails. And I've just generally just spent time with myself and just taking time to just breathe and just be in the moment, you know? Because sometimes all of these things that are going on in your life, it makes you live outside of the moment, and you're constantly thinking about all the things that you have to sort out. And honestly, guys, it just gets to a point where you're just like, I just can't think about the future right now. I just can't think about the future. I can't think about the past. I can't think about anything other than what's going on in this minuscule mini second here. Because honestly, it helps to get through that day. That's it. And then when you get over to the next day, it's a new day. It's a new day. We can start again, right? That's how I see it. So I hope that's helped, guys. I really do. I will continue to give you update videos like this. If it's required. I mean, like I say, my face is coming back to me now, so it's not as much of a hindrance, and it's not as much of a panic. So I'm definitely easing into the recovery, and it's definitely starting to feel a lot better. So there's no worries here, guys. There's nothing serious happening. It's just Bells Palsy, so it's just a thing that I've got to process and work with and just wait for it to go. And that's what I'm doing. And if you've got any questions, guys, please shoot them at me. I'm more than happy to take questions. If you've got anything that you want me to discuss in my videos, just let me know. And if you want to subscribe, please feel free, hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure that you give it a thumbs up on your way out. And I will see you really soon, guys. Really soon, I hope. And yeah, look after yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, Luna.
Oh, Luna. Oh, Luna. Are you giving me kisses? Are you giving me kisses? Oh, you're such a good girl. Oh, I love you, my girl. I love you, my girl.
Bye.
Yeah.